Recently, while enduring a 24-hour spell without sleep, don't ask it wasn't fun, I was watching The Next Generation, rather than sleeping, because I make good life choices. Specifically, the episode came up that started this video. Backstory here, people. The episode came up where Data gets his cat, Spot, and that got me thinking. Dangerous words. In Star Trek, we see several pets. Most notably, we have the aforementioned cat, Spot, in The Next Generation. But we also have Archer's dog, Porthos, Spot is better, from Enterprise, as well as mentions or sight of several other pets throughout the various series. Mostly dogs and cats, some alien version of those, but anyway, regardless, point is there's pets we see in Star Trek, and a lot of them are dogs and cats. Overwhelmingly dogs and cats, or weird Klingon lizards. And that got me thinking, would a dog or a cat make a good pet for a Starfleet officer, or somebody on a Starfleet ship, because they have civilians on board, because that's a genius idea. Hence, this video. To cut a long story short, there are many pets better than a dog or cat for a Starfleet officer to have. I would actually really enjoy making a list of the best pets for a Starfleet officer to have, but in the interest of keeping this video, which is already a barely scripted, probably mess that hopefully you find entertaining, reasonably short, let me just explain why dogs and cats make lousy pets aboard a starship. Well, not necessarily lousy, you can keep them and they'd be perfectly fine most likely, but they are less than perfect pets for that situation. I should have made a cat perfect joke. First, we come to perhaps the biggest reason why cats and dogs make less than ideal pets aboard a starship, and that is space. Space is big, space on a starship is limited. Dogs, and to a lesser extent cats, need room to run, explore, and play. And from what we've seen, the average Starfleet officer has an amount of space to himself that would make some zoo animals feel sympathy for him. Anyway, minor tangents aside that could arise, just ignore those. The point is that if you're keeping, say, a Norwegian Lunderhund, I may have googled random dog breeds, in your 20-meter square foot cabin, they're actually really pretty, look them up, aboard the USS Redoutable, then you will probably be needing to take your precious pupper on a lengthy walk at least once a day. And if your ship is attacked by a pack-led scavenger or crystalline entity, or you're randomly devolved into a Medusazoan after accidental exposure to some alien bacterium, then you may find yourself unable to take your doggo for a walk for a couple of days. And the mess you would come home to would make your time spent in the grasp of some Gorn dungeon master preferable to the job of cleanup. And yes, a cat requires far less effort than a dog would, but they do need exercise and new stuff to do regularly. And yeah, you may have kept a cat successfully in your one-bedroom apartment for years and they never had a problem, but your precious Mittens was in an airy and well-lighted environment with at least some access to natural lighting, not a 20-meter box with none of those things. And you would... seriously, Star Trek cabins are tiny, like ridiculously. Anyway, and you will still have to put this pet of yours, you'll have to put in regular quality time with it. Which is fine, the cat, we're still on the cat, which is fine if you are an android wanting to gain experience in animal husbandry, but may stink if you are a bridge officer that regularly spends days in your chair at the helm at a time, and the last thing you want to do as you are frantically moving your ship through a Romulan minefield is wonder if your cat has made a mess in your bed again because their litter box was full, or they were scared of the flashing lights. And there's also the issue of feeding. Both cats and dogs are, surprisingly, mammals, breaking new animal ground here. And as such, they're basically constantly on the verge of starvation and need daily access to food in order to sustain their body heat and a healthy weight. And the less mentioned about the byproducts of food digestion, the better. All this means is that a cat or a dog requires a lot of work, significant space, emotional investment, and you may not always be able to provide those things. There are better options. As mentioned, I will talk about them if there's interest. Maybe or maybe not in a better scripted, more coherent, and planned out video. If you're really lucky. Well, that's pretty much the video. Again, not saying you could not keep a dog or a cat aboard a Starship, or that it wouldn't be happy or healthy, just that they're not the best option. If you want to hear a random guy on the internet talk about what better options there are for a pet aboard a non-existent starship from a popular science fiction franchise, let me know. With a comment, obviously, not telepathy. And I will make a video about them in the future. Try telepathy if you want. If it works, you'll have a fantastic breakthrough, and I'm sure we can get a lot of money. Anyway, that'll come in the future if there's interest. Also tell me if you dislike this random, unhinged, ranty, well, not ranty, but tangential video style. If you did, let me know. If you didn't, let me know as well. These videos are much easier to make than a properly scripted, well thought out, coherent video that you may or may not think I make. If you did like it, then give it a like. Or don't. There's no way for me to know if you do or don't. Honestly, I make these videos for fun, so even you watching it is a bit confusing to me. Especially as this video feels rather not poorly put together, random. I may make a series of random videos just because I enjoyed this. Or I won't if there's major backlash. Yeah. Anyway, have a nice day, whether you like the video or not, whether you're currently saying some long-winded version of stick to the script, dude, in the comments. Either way, have a nice day. See you in the next video, if I haven't scared you all away.